So I was walking down the road the other day through the streets of London, and look what I saw. It was a big red van with some cameras. And so I took a closer inspection, and look what it says. It says live facial recognition in operation. Lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, the Orwellian police state has arrived earlier than expected. And what's the problem though? They're trying to, as it says here, London Metropolitan Police state rationale: locate wanted suspects in real time, prevent and detect crime, particularly serious offences, find missing or vulnerable people, guarantee they don't care about that, and protect the public from harm. Let's not forget what Albert Camus said: the welfare of humanity is always the alibi of tyrants. Okay, we've got to watch out for that. Remember 2020, 2021? That's exactly what they were doing. Stay home, stay safe. It's always about your protection. So let's not get fooled again. And then, of course, what the critics are saying about that is that, privacy campaigners have raised a different set of concerns. The normalisation of mass biometric surveillance. And of course, that's the case. That's what we're seeing in China already. We're seeing debanking, deplatforming. People are just being blocked, to all of these services. And so this is how the Internet of Things is going to operate. This is how this new wave social crediting system based on CBDCs and blockchain really is going to operate. It's going to be a super advanced, squeaky clean system of slavery. If you didn't know you're already enslaved, by the way, that is an unfortunate reality that faces a lot of people when they awaken to a heightened level of consciousness. But it's going to get so incredibly advanced that people will actually bloody love it, because they're going to be spoon-fed UBI, and then from that they're going to be supported, but in the loving arms of the state. They're going to be cradled by Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Boris Johnson as well, maybe. It might show a cameo. And of course, they love you. The state absolutely loves you, and they want you to be safe, as it says here. And that's why they've got these cameras out at the moment. And of course, what's going to happen is we're going to have no freedom left. We're going to see the Agenda 2030 unroll and unfold before our eyes. And everything that they have listed on there, of course, is all lovely. But what they're not telling you is that it's all going to be based on a state of dependency on the state. Okay, that's the unfortunate reality of it. It's Brave New World, it's 1984, it's Logan's Run, all the films that I've been talking about recently. It's all those blended into one. But it will be, like I say, squeaky clean, chains of gold. If you're engineered from birth to live in this system of slavery, how are you going to know that it is actually a system of slavery? Especially when you've got these lovely, sustainable cities and this beautiful scenery and parks, and it all looks like Scandinavia almost, where it's just so efficient. Okay, it's egalitarian, it's about equality, there's no poverty, but of course you're still absolutely constrained in consciousness. This is the unfortunate reality that most people are going to experience, is because how do you know when you aren't operating at our highest potential? How do you know if there's no one by comparison to sort of lead us into a heightened state of consciousness and to evolve society and for us to actually spiritually grow? If there's no sort of precedent for that, then we will remain forevermore in a condition of arrested development, sort of hamstrung by Western education. And that's the case, unfortunately, as what's unfolding today. So it's sort of misunderstood. The advancement of consciousness is not understood, because often when you sort of approach people with these things like facial recognition, they're like, well, what's the problem? They're just, helping us to sort of catch the criminals. But you will be a criminal in the eyes of the state if you ever awaken to a high level of consciousness. That's the problem. So what is a criminal? Someone who sort of writes a Facebook post that's rather contrarian or transgressive. Is that a criminal? Okay, well, maybe it might be. And so in that case, you've got a curfew. You can't even leave the house. Perhaps you're under house arrest now. Perhaps you're going to be debanked. Perhaps you're going to be deplatformed, because you are, in the eyes of the state, a problem, and you're going to end up in the savage reservation, as Aldous Huxley wrote of in Brave New World. So that's my update here. Don't be too scared. We've got solutions, we've got alternatives, and do check out newearth.land if you're interested.